A strong season for Rutgers in 2023. Can they build off of that and improve and maybe even get near the top of the Big Ten in 2024? Before we go game by game with predictions, first, just some thoughts on this team. We look at the offense. I think that's going to be a concern. Running back room is great. You know, there's no question marks there. But you bring in Ethan Kaliak-Manis from Minnesota, a guy who was not great at Minnesota. So I have question marks there. The wide receivers, are they good enough? And even the offensive line. So if all of that can come together and they can produce just an average offense, I think Rutgers can be pretty good. Their defense should be strong. I don't really have any question marks there. Maybe the cornerback position, but everywhere else, this looks like they're going to be a very solid defense. It's a very similar team to Iowa. Maybe not quite as good as Iowa, but it's like, in my opinion, a very similar situation to what we have at Iowa. Really good defense and an offense that I think is going to struggle a little bit. But again, if either one of those teams, if they can improve some on offense, they're going to be pretty good. So here are the odds. So Vegas, they've got the over/under win total at 6.5 for Rutgers. So 6-6, 7-5, the most likely record for this team. I think that's pretty fair. The schedule's not horrible. You look at who they play. They don't play Ohio State. They don't play Michigan. They don't even play Penn State. So they don't play the three teams that they're used to playing every single year in that gauntlet that was the Big Ten West. They don't play any of those teams, and they do play USC. But you know, again, this is a very favorable schedule for Rutgers. They should start off with a couple of easy wins over Howard and Akron, so a 2-0 start for this team before going on the road to play Virginia Tech. Similar team. You talk about really good defense. I think Virginia Tech a little bit ahead of where Rutgers is offensively, but defensively, again, both of these teams are very, very solid, should be very solid this year. That's a tough place to play, though. And again, I think the limitations of the Rutgers offense, especially playing on the road in a game like this, they'll be more than maybe the advantages that Rutgers has with their defense against the Virginia Tech offense. So I got to go Virginia Tech here in this one. Rutgers is next on the 27th of September. Washington is next for Rutgers on September 27th. Home game here for Rutgers, and you know, this is a really good matchup, honestly. Washington's not going to have a good offensive line. That's going to be a huge weakness. Rutgers should be living in the backfield in this one. And, you know, I don't know that Washington's going to have the receivers to really challenge these Rutgers cornerbacks, which, again, could be their weakness. So it's just a great matchup for Rutgers playing at home. I like Rutgers to win here in this one, but should be fairly competitive. I'm not saying it's a good matchup. I'm not saying they're going to blow them out, but it is just a good matchup here for this team. Nebraska next on October 5th on the road. This will be a good one. This one's one that, you know, I think these teams are pretty even. I don't think there's much separation. Dylan Raiola at Nebraska, what can he do at the quarterback position to help open up that offense? That's going to be a big key here. I think Rutgers probably has a little bit better defense than Nebraska. Nebraska has a little better offense than Rutgers, but overall the team's pretty even. Home field advantage is going to be the difference. Nebraska's a tough place to play. I've got Nebraska winning this game. Up next is Wisconsin. This one should be a good one. It's a home game for Rutgers. You talk about the Wisconsin defensive line maybe being a weakness for them. That's an advantage for Rutgers. I think they're going to be able to run the football in this game, probably slow it down, keep it low scoring. Wisconsin, they want to throw it a little bit more than they used to. And so I think Rutgers is going to be able to win this matchup at home. I think they get one big win this season. I think this is that game. I think they knock off, upset Wisconsin, and get to 4-2. UCLA is next. I've said it many times. I think this team is being underrated. They're going to be pretty solid on both sides of the ball. I think they're really, talent-wise, probably a better team than Rutgers. Now, they're not going to have the kind of defense that Rutgers has, but they're going to have a much better offense. So I actually like UCLA to get the win here in this one. And then USC on the road on the 25th. You wonder if Rutgers can slow this game down, run the football, you know, not get into a shootout. If they can do that, they'll have a chance. But I think USC's improved defense is going to be the difference here. Rutgers doesn't score a whole lot of points in this one, and they have a hard time stopping this USC offense. I've got USC winning. And then you've got Minnesota next on the 9th of November, a bye week before this game. That'll help out, obviously. But I really like this Minnesota team. I think they're being underrated. I think that they're going to have a much improved offense with Max Brosmer at quarterback. And, of course, they're going to be going up against their old quarterback in Ethan Kaliak-Manis, which that'll be interesting. But I think Minnesota, their offense will be playing pretty good by this time, and I think they pull off the win here. So going Golden Gophers. Then Maryland next on the 16th on the road. Should be a good one here. Maryland's offense, I think, will also grow as the season progresses. They've got some weapons. If that quarterback position can get figured out and they get good production there, it's going to be a pretty good offense. And I think the defense will be okay. It'll be enough that their offense will get them a win here at home. So going Maryland in this one. And then you've got Illinois next on the 23rd. I think this team will struggle this year. I don't think they're going to be very good offensively. Rutgers defense should shut them down, going Rutgers in this one. And then Michigan State to close things out. A big wild card. Really don't know what to expect from this team with the new coaching staff and some transfers in there. So, again, I don't know what to expect from Michigan State. I'm going to say Rutgers wins it. They're the more experienced team, and they get a win here to close things out and get to a bowl game at 6-6. I think, they could maybe get to 7-5, maybe knock off UCLA or Minnesota. I could see that. Maybe even an 8-4. Maybe they go 5-7 though. Let's say they lose to, let's say, Wisconsin or Washington. So I think 6-6, 7-5, right where Vegas had their over/under win total, is right on the money. But I'm going 6-6 for Rutgers. Give me your predictions for this team down in the comments below.